Caitlin Clark's influence on women's basketball is undeniable. To put her impact into perspective, let's compare her to other game-changers like Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, and Simone Biles. What do they all share? Extraordinary talent, relentless dedication, and that elusive it factor that
Iowa's Caitlin Clark, Athlete of the Year. Clark follows Lionel Messi, Aaron Judge, and Simone Biles. No unbiased person sees this as a controversial choice.
This isn't just about Clark, it's about something bigger, changing the conversation around women's sports. The article being discussed calls for people to take a step back from criticism and recognize Clark's contributions. It encourages us to celebrate the positive changes she's bringing to the game instead of fueling divisive debates. Clark's popularity isn't fleeting. The article suggests that her support extends beyond just Iowa fans.
Is the main reason women's basketball exploded in popularity. She again won National Player of the Year at Iowa while setting the NCAA career and tournament records for points and leading the Hawkeyes back to the Final Four. A week later, assists, got the Fever back to the playoffs for the first time in 8 years, and won Rookie of the Year.
The sport. That group is only expected to expand. Her rise reflects the best of sports as a meritocracy, where skill, creativity, and charisma make an athlete shine. Clark's iconic long-range shots and unmatched presence on the court have cemented her status as a generational star. But not everyone is.
The Time interview has been used to further divide us. Many of the people giving hot takes didn't actually read it, just like some responding to this commentary won't actually watch it.
Faced is a stark reminder of ongoing challenges in the world of women's sports. Criticism has come from unexpected places, including within the WNBA itself. Sheila Johnson, owner of the Washington Mystics, made waves by suggesting that singling out Clark for accolades like Time's Athlete of the Year overlooks the significant contributions of black players in the league. Johnson went as far as to say that putting the entire WNBA on the cover would have avoided the controversy. This raises broader questions about how women's sports are discussed and celebrated. While Clark's accomplishments deserve recognition,
Basketball Reference says Clark has the most viewed WNBA player page and the most viewed college player page. 50 out of 50 states at Iowa and 50 for 50 Fever. She's the...
At its best, sport is about merit, about the undeniable talent and impact of individuals. Caitlin Clark embodies that on.
Unlike anything we've seen. In college, virtually all games sold out. In the pros, games moved to bigger arenas. So why would anyone have a problem with Clark winning Time Athlete of the Year?
Conversation isn't over, it's just getting started. Caitlin Clark has propelled the WNBA into a spotlight it hasn't seen in its 28-year history. You'd think such an achievement would be universally celebrated, especially by someone like Sheila Johnson, owner of the Washington Mystics, whose team saw nearly a third of its home attendance come from games featuring Clark and the Indiana Fever. But instead, Johnson's comments have added fuel to the ongoing debate about representation in sports. Johnson suggested that Time should have celebrated the entire WNBA, rather than singling out Clark. Her words? Why couldn't they have put the...
Clark is not the first to make people care about a sport they had previous thing in common, too. Talent, dedication, and that special something, the it factor.
Is the League of the Year because of all the talent we have. It's a statement that struck a nerve, raising questions about recognition and fairness in women's basketball. Critics of Clark argue that her race gives her an edge in visibility, pointing out that many talented black players have never received the same level of recognition. But this isn't unique to basketball, it's a phenomenon seen across sports. Athletes like Shohei Ohtani, Coco Gauff, and Nikola Jokic have all attracted new fans, often because they resonate with a specific demographic. Clark, undeniably, is doing the same. In her Time interview, Clark didn't shy away from addressing these sensitive.
The silent majority, in and out of the league, appreciate Caitlin Clark. That number should only grow for Time's deserving.
Come with being white, saying, as a white person, there is privilege. But she also stood firm in defending her accomplishments, stating that she's earned everything through hard work. While some have criticized her for bringing race into the conversation, others have praised her for tackling these issues head-on. Either way, it seems
sport, at its best, is a meritocracy. Clark's logo threes, creative passes, and unquantifiable charisma made her a generational star. On the court, her emotions can get the best of her. Off it, she's been admirably.
On the other, she's facing criticism from voices within the very league she represents. Yet, these conversations about race, privilege, and representation are ones the WNBA, and women's sports as a whole, need to have. Despite the backlash, Clark isn't without her defenders. Surprisingly,
Well, Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson tells CNN it's race. Johnson suggests putting the whole league on the time cover could have prevented hard feelings.
for aid, risking their own legacies to support the newcomer. Their involvement raises an intriguing question: why are these established stars standing behind Clark so strongly? Perhaps it's because they see something more significant at play, a generational talent not just reshaping women's basketball but challenging the narratives that surround it. Whether you agree with Clark or not, one thing is certain: her journey is sparking conversations that will shape the future of the sport. As criticism against Caitlin Clark grew louder,
Elevated a 28-year-old league to relevance it had never approached. You would think that would be appreciated, especially by an owner who had nearly a third of her team's home attendance come from 2 Fever games.
speaking up, and not in half-hearted ways. They came out swinging, offering full-throated defenses of Clark's talent, character, and the recognition she deserves. Take Gabby Thomas, for example. The Olympic track and field star didn't just tweet a generic message of support. She went all in, fiercely defending Clark on social media. When swimmer Riley Gaines criticized Clark, Thomas clapped back, writing, "Girl, are you for real? You don't have to share your opinion on everything, just sit this one out." Coming from an athlete who knows what it's like to compete at the highest level and face public scrutiny, Thomas's defense carried serious weight. Then there was Chris
Their own demographic? Of course. Shohei Ohtani, Coco Gauff, and Nikola Jokic all bring new fans to their sports, just as Clark.
for one. Everett didn't hold back, stating, "Caitlin Clark deserves this award because of her talent and contributions both on and off the court." Her words added significant credibility, given her experience as one of the most celebrated figures in sports. And most notably, Serena Williams, often hailed as the greatest tennis player of all time, also stepped up. Williams not only offered advice: if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do, but also shared her own struggles from early in her career. Williams's perspective is particularly impactful because she's faced similar challenges and knows the weight of
As a white person, there is privilege. Now, you can agree or disagree, but Caitlin's entitled to her opinion too.
is how these icons are putting their own reputations on the line. They're not just tossing out casual encouragement, they're making clear, public statements about Clark's excellence and why she deserves recognition. Their solidarity sends a powerful message about acknowledging talent and hard work, regardless of background or sport. This isn't just about defending Clark, it's a broader challenge to how we discuss and celebrate athletes, especially women in sports. By standing behind Clark, these legends are using their platforms to shift the narrative, demanding a fairer conversation about achievement and representation. But the ripple effects don't stop there. These endorsements are reshaping the conversation, not only around Clark but also around how society criticizes and uplifts female athletes. By saying, "We've been there, and we know what it takes," these sports icons are changing the game, and ensuring Clark's story is seen for what it truly is, a testament to talent, hard work, and groundbreaking success. Caitlin Clark has earned her place as a transformative force in women's basketball, but what comes next?